Okay, it looks like we have everybody that we are expecting. Before I call this matter to order, Mr. Zuber, did you have anybody else that you were anticipating here today?
No, I do not.
Okay, and Mr. Richards, anybody else that you were anticipating?
No, I think we have everybody from our end.
Okay, this is a matter before the State Board of Land Commissioners, the state of Idaho, in the matter of the encroachment permit application number L95S5573B, Clinton Zuber and Zuber Construction Inc. as applicant. Agency case number PH-2025-NAV-22-001. Office of Administrative Hearings, case number 25-320-01. This is the time and place for our evidentiary hearing. Before we begin, Mr. Richards, I posed a question to you at the pre-hearing conference related to the stylistic questions related to the order, given that it does not appear any member of the public will be appearing to object to this application, and IDL believes that the application meets all of the regulatory requirements. So I will turn it over to you first to respond to that question.
Yes, thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. Reflecting on that question, I think, because we are going through the process that we're still going to need a final order, and I'm leaning towards, staying the course with the normal process and doing the findings of fact and conclusions of law. But wanted to ask you perhaps for a little bit of clarity on the alternative that you were providing. I wasn't sure what an alternative may look like.
An alternative would just be a recommended order from us, but rather than numbered paragraphs specific to the findings of fact and conclusions of law, would state that no objection was had either by, and that it meets the requirements of IDL's regulations. And depending on how the evidence comes out, no evidence was provided that there is any detrimental impact that would override the benefits of this project. So it would be more in a cursory, conclusory fashion as opposed to fact, 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 then law, 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 law.
I believe my preference would be to stick with the regular form, if that works for you, Madam Hearing Officer, just since we have gone through the process, to keep the process the same as our other applications.
Yep, we can definitely do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Well, with that, does either party desire to make an opening statement, Mr. Richards?
I can give a short opening statement. Just that this application was submitted. Originally, the IDL was the original objector with concerns regarding internal storage area. There were concerns that it could be potentially a temporary permanent residential area. The department was able to resolve those concerns, but the had already published notice of this hearing and decided that it would be appropriate to proceed with the hearing since notice had gone out. One thing I will note, since the submission of our pre-hearing statement, we stated then that we had received no public comment or agency comment on this application. Since that submission to date, we have still received no public comment or agency comment to the agency on this application. So it is essentially the application and the other documents within the record that consist of the application. And so that's where, the position of the department is that this was hearing was largely held to provide the public the opportunity, having been provided notice, to give comment if they should so choose.
Okay. Mr. Zuber, any pre-hearing opening statements that you would like to provide?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. So with that, Mr. Richards, please call your first witness.
And after consideration and talking with the department is willing to rely on its pre-hearing statement to support its position and not call any witnesses today. I will note we would like to ask the applicant to clarify one measurement within the application, but as far as any department witnesses, we're fine to rely on our pre-hearing statement.
Okay. Normally the pre-hearing statement is adopted under oath. Any objection to me putting Ms. Mensinger under oath for her to confirm that she adopts a pre-hearing statement as written? That way I can rely on it as evidence.
No objection from my end.
Okay, Ms. Mensinger, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, and have you had an opportunity to review the department's pre-hearing statement?
I have.
And do you adopt that pre-hearing statement in lieu of providing live testimony here today?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Richards, any other questions you'd like to ask Ms. Mensinger at this time?
No further questions for Ms. Mensinger.
Mr. Zuber, any questions do you have for Mr. Mensinger or Ms. Mensinger?
No, not at this time.
Okay, with that, I will go ahead and put Mr. Zuber under oath for clarifying the question that you have for him, Mr. Richards. So, Mr. Zuber, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Richards, please ask your clarifying point of Mr. Zuber.
I will. Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer, and I'm going to go ahead and share a portion of my screen to display the application. Can you confirm that you can see the application, Mr. Zuber?
Yes, it can.
Okay,
And
and so
Mr. Richards, for the record, will you let me know what page of the application you're looking at?
yes, I will.
Thank
And
you.
so, Mr. Zuber, I have up on the screen right now what is part of IDL exhibit IDL-002 at what is marked as page 006, which is a depiction of the proposed project. Do you recognize this drawing?
Yes, I do.
And
Yep.
so there's one measurement that I wanted to clarify with you just to ensure that we have accurate records on our end of what the measurements will be. And it has to do with this measurement right here from the western property line to the float dock. Do you see the measurement that I'm referring to?
Yes.
So in this drawing, it lists that feet from the, the length from the float dock to the property line at 25 feet. Do you agree?
Yes, there should be an upgraded one. And
I-
I had my other neighbors sign off on that.
Okay, and I
It's a
think there
little,
is, and that I think that will resolve my question. Is that looking at this,
that's correct. Yes, the
okay,
20 foot 6. Yep.
and that's all we wanted to confirm was whether it was 25 feet or 20 feet 6 inches for this distance from the float dock to the western property line.
That's the correct one. Yeah.
Okay, and just to make clear, you're saying that the correct distance is 20 feet 6 inches.
Correct.
Okay. And one more question. I'm moving now in IDL exhibit IDL-002 to page 033. And so this version that you had, your western neighbor sign is the correct footage.
Yes. Yep. His name's Doug. Yep. His
Okay.
signature's right there at the top.
Perfect. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Richards. Anything else from IDL at this point in time?
No, nothing else. Let's see. The only other thing that I will confirm for the record is that in our pre-hearing conference, I'd like to confirm that all IDL exhibits IDL-001 through IDL-013 were entered into the record.
That's my recollection, but without going back and double checking, I'll just ask Mr. Zuber, do you have any objection to IDL exhibits 1 through 13 being admitted into the record?
No, I don't.
Okay. So if they were not previously admitted, they are admitted now, Mr. Richards.
Okay, with that, I don't think we have anything else from the department's end.
Okay, Mr. Zuber, anything from your standpoint that you'd like to address here today that has not been addressed?
Not really.
Well, I'm on a deadline to issue an order on this application within 30 days of the hearing, as it is a 58-1306 application. I can tell you here at the hearing, given no objection and that you meet all regulatory, all regulations for the Department of Lands, there should be no reason why I don't recommend that the department approve your application. My decision is not 30 days. The director's final decision is 30 days from the date of the hearing. So my decision will issue in the next 1 to 2 weeks, and then the director will issue the final decision. And once you have your final decision approving your application, assuming the director adopts my decision, then you continue to work with your Department of Lands contact to get your permit in place. And get your boathouse and boat garage start to be built.
Okay,
All right, well, you will be seeing something from me probably about the 15th or so. And then, like I said, the director's final decision is due 30 days from today, so no later than about May 1st. But my order will have those dates and timelines in it as well.
okay.
All right, well, thank you for your participation, Mr. Richards, Ms. Mensinger, and Mr. Zuber. And with that, this hearing is concluded and fully submitted for consideration by this hearing officer.
All right, thank you, Madam Hearing Officer.
All right, thank you.